I started writing my own engines 2 years ago, and I've really started to appreciate being independent of any third-party libraries. So far, I made games almost exclusively with Unity, but Unity is not very transparent with its internal structure, so you're very dependent that it works out of the box, or you have to find some workaround. This problem completely goes away when you build the engine yourself. Then it's always your own fault when something doesn't work. But at least this way you can fix the problem and are also likely to learn something in the process. In general, doing this has been very educational. For example, now I know the math behind shadows and what the trade-offs are between different implementations. I started out writing engines in C# with a framework called OpenGL, just because I was using the language so much already. But last year I switched to C++ to get rid of this layer as well. I'm mostly using only C features and avoid the C standard library to keep things clear and simple. So far in C++ I've done some examples in 3D and 2D. I started by rendering this cube with a shadow. I don't draw the floor except for the shadow part here, which gives it this more minimalistic look. In C# I also did some physical based rendering, but I haven't done this so far in C++. As a second project I made Pong. I wanted to make a very simple game that I could finish relatively quickly. I added the score and resetting the field animation to draw the attention of the player to where the ball is. So I wanted to show you my basic setup for these projects where I don't use any libraries. And to give it some context, I made this example where I just load an image from disk and draw it to the screen. And maybe you get some inspiration from this. So if you're developing for Windows, you could, instead of creating a window with glfw, do something like this. It's not that much and the Windows functions are actually fairly well documented. Same for binding the OpenGL functions. Instead of using glfw, you could just bind the functions like this. It's basically just one function call per GL function. And the header file with the function prototypes is available on the Kronos website. It contains all the GL functions you might want to bind. The rest is loading the bitmap, loading the shaders, creating the renderer, and finally drawing the image every frame. But since this is not supposed to be an OpenGL tutorial, I'm not going to go into detail here. But to show you the result, when I build and run this, I display the screenshot I made from the cube. The screenshot is on disk as a bitmap, since that is an uncompressed file format and very easy to read. Well, I hope you found this interesting. If you have any questions or feedback, let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.